Mainstream Western entertainment has no idea how to write black men. I want you to answer a question for me. Can you remember the last time you saw a positive male black figure in the mainstream media that wasn't Black Panther? I know you can use Adonis Creed from the Creed films, but besides those two, can you give me a positive male black role model in Western entertainment? You know, that doesn't have to deal with drugs, that doesn't have to deal with gang culture, that doesn't have to deal with some kind of oppression. Can you give me one of those that they created in the last 10 plus years? Or are you starting to see the dots connect with every single one of the characters that they have created, either all being effeminate, gay, lesbian women, or they're beta males to some other female character in whatever they're in? That's a trope that goes around, so much so that they say, man, it's the Netflix style of writing. We gotta get our black lesbian in there, we gotta get our gay black dude in there. We don't have any strong black male role models in these movies and TV shows. Even gaming, I'm having a hard time thinking about a game where a black male came through and was a good role model for people. They keep writing these characters and they're afraid of a strong black male, so they always make them effeminate. That's why you have the Steven Universes. That's why you have Harry Osborn here in this recent trailer. That's why you have the Shaggy from the Velma series who was beta. That's why you have this other character here, this 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 character here. It keeps going on and on. I can't think of the last time I saw a strong male role model that was black. Hell, the MCU has a problem with black role models. And I know before you start, you're gonna say, but Falcon's now Captain America. Yeah, he took the hand-me-downs of a white man because they didn't feel like Falcon was legitimate enough to stand on his own. So he needed something else that was a white man's. Hey, but they got female black Iron Man with her ghetto accent and pretending like she's so black and so swaggy and all that shit coming up. I know y'all love that. Who is supposed to turn on their TV and want to get lost in the world and the first thing they see is a black man being cooked? Who wants to enjoy when they want to watch a movie and the first thing they see is the black man stumbling around like a buffoon the entire time? Like a film I just watched the other day, the Tomorrow War. The fat black guy is the butt of the joke the entire time. No one. That's why they flop. That's why when all these shows come out and the first thing you see is black lesbian, black gay guy, everybody checks out because you're doing the trope every single time.
I'll take you on.
What did you just call me?
You're a black bastard coon. Come on!
Hey, stop it!
You had your last warning. I'm suspending you from the school. Okay, get out!
So, you thought you could just play me like that? You see problem. Bitch, be right here. Come on. Yo, now look.
What are you doing? Why aren't you training your black? I'm on my own here.
Did you just call me a black?
Yes, he did.
You can't do that, that's racist.
But you are black and you are the cunt, and those are the facts. I don't think Primeton cares what race you're running.
The fact that I'm black has nothing to do with the fact I'm...
He didn't say black people were cunts, Ernie. He was being specific to you. One has nothing to do with the other.
Whoa, relax, fellas. Mind your business. I distinctly told you to lay off the job. Talk to Silvio. He gave the order, you stupid fill.
I'm calling the police.
Who the f*** are you? Ralph Bunch over here.
But if the show's centered around black criminality, I'm not a fan of it.
Not interested.
And it's not that those shows shouldn't exist, because plenty of shows exist about criminality in other groups. Those are the stories that the media tells about your families. So you should be unhappy about that. And I think we should be unhappy in Britain as black communities that there's far too many shows commissioned, even if they're frivolous stories about superheroes or whatnot, but where are they based? Who are the characters based on? What do they do with their lives? What do they do with their jobs? Because you know, it's not even reinforcing negative stereotypes at this stage. It's creating,
making it up.
It's creating negative stereotypes.
Making pandering movies. I just have a problem with our men being emasculated in front of the screen. We are depicted as less than you guys, not me. Black women are depicted as hard, strong, callous, uncaring, smart mouth. Black men are depicted as emotionally dysfunctional, not present, verbally, emotionally abusive. Like these stereotypes keep getting perpetuated.
Or did I do something wrong by wearing a dress in my young years?
I want to quote one of our elder Grandmaster teachers, Professor James Small.
Yes.
He said, in response to a question about movies, media, and entertainment, he said, all content has intent. When you sit down and watch an hour and 45-minute long movie,
right,
and you know this better than most, being the successful actor you are, everything that you saw on that final cut, from the color to the background objects, to the pictures, to the clothing, to the conversation, to the symbolism, everything had a purpose in communicating the overall message of that movie.
Yes.
So if we will admit that entertainment is a weapon of indoctrination, in an age where we see a war against not only the life of black men, but the survival of black masculinity, how can a black man putting on a dress not be a problem? But when we talk about female sexuality
and the images,
absolutely, for children who consume more television per capita than any other ethnic group in America. So the messages you put in those movies are going to hit our children 50 times harder because they're more dependent on television than anyone else, and they're less likely to have a father at home, Nick. So you're talking about a black male role model who took me this far in my life as a masculine example, and now you're going to put this on, which is now going to force me as an innocent child to entertain all of what can come from putting on that dress.
You know the chains I wore in Roots? I keep them over the hearth in my living room, right above my 12 Emmys. What is that about?
I don't know. What is it to you?
America first met me as Kunta Kinte, a young African kid who was kidnapped, tortured, refused his slave name. Then I read to their children and maintained the integrity of their favorite spaceship. Pretty soon, people began to think of me as safe.
Oh, the safest.
Once, I read Go the F to Sleep for charity.
Yeah.
One of my brand partners dropped me.
What, you can't even say?
Can, but there are consequences. I said, I lost money. If I showed how angry I really am, but I'm not gonna hide it. So I keep my chains on the wall in the living room. I want my guests to know, while I am unquestionably their friend, I am also absolutely filled with rage.
Where did you learn, or when did it become apparent to you that authenticity, vulnerability is what we need as a community in order for our communities to grow?
I stopped giving a f, man. Like one of the greatest things that happened to me when I was in prison, I cried. Because as a kid in the community, especially a boy in the ghetto, you taught to be tough by your mom. Fall off the swing, you better not cry. Boy, stop crying. Everybody teach you, The dehumanization of black people is a deep thing by black people. Don't be a fucking human, be a robot. Don't feel, be tough, don't cry. Don't go through a horror moment. You can't say, I'm stressed out, I'm going through it. That's weak. You can't say I'm depressed. That's weak. You can't cry. That's weak. You can't get emotional and tell a woman, oh, baby, I love you in public. You soft. You're a simp. Listen, think about this. You would be called a simp if you told the woman, the mother of your child, the woman you love, that you love her out loud. And you regularly told her that in an environment where they don't do that. That's simp. He a simp. Think about how we think, bro. I'm like, I ain't got time for that shit. That shit's heavy. To carry around this joint, I ain't gonna feel, I ain't gonna cry. Man, that shit you will explode. Your back will hurt.
As black men, we will say, we don't feel like we can be on our authentic selves because then we get attacked. So I can't show weakness because I don't want to be a mark. I can't show sadness because I'm supposed to be able to handle everything for everybody else. I can't show a level of anxiety and too much stress because then the people around me are going to get stressed out, and then what they going to do. But what's crazy for us is we can't even show good stuff. There are black men in here that know I can't be too happy because this fool gonna think I'm goofy. I can't show that I'm in love because then they gonna think I'm crazy and somebody gonna take me. I can't be overly excited because I gotta act like I've been there before. So when you're suppressing both negative feelings and positive feelings, we have actually said that to be a black man, you gotta be stoic and humanless. And then we get mad when the world treats us inhumanely. And so this is not about us changing the narrative about who black men are. Black men who know black men know that black men are not that. We have to give ourselves permission to be it.
There is an agenda about emasculation, but it is us specifically as black men that this agenda has been targeted at the most, because it was our strength that they could not deal with. So understand what they did, and I will skim through it again briefly. After they gave us an illusion of freedom, they lured us into this system, gave us jobs, and allowed us to get educations, promoted some of their controlled bourgeois Negroes, and placed them as our goals to ascend to. After that program set in our minds, they took away all those same opportunities. They promoted agendas that removed the black man out of the homes, allowing their school system and their entertainment to program and raise up our next generation. They then destroyed the communities from within by planting drugs and guns directly in our communities, and they marked our streets by placing Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard in every city, not as a memorial for us, but as a marker for them to know where they are attacking specifically, and so that others know that this is a black neighborhood. I mean, I can go to any city in America, and if I want to find the hood, all I need to do is find the MLK Boulevards. That wasn't by accident. They set up laws that imprisoned more of our men and left the next generation fatherless and angry. They filled that void with homosexual sellouts who promoted a lifestyle and mentality that destroyed us from within, removing our values completely, having us disrespect our women. Pretty much everything that would have been right for us, they promoted the complete opposite, and made these men our heroes and the leaders of our society. And we're still celebrating them today, talking about their money and giving them props and all that other garbage. Now we're totally controlled and manipulated, and we have raised up a next generation of black men that doesn't even know what a black man should look like or be like. We now have men that are submissive to their women and do not leave their homes. Men that are scared to combat evil because they're scared of losing their fake black card. And what we see now is either women or gay black men taking our leadership roles. This is all an agenda that has been used against us, because while they diffused us and made sure we are not a threat to them, they have been provoking and manipulating us to use our energy to bring about the change they desire in this world. Black people in America have an extremely high influence on culture and trends and social justice, but they are just echoing the voice of their puppet masters. And this has started because you, Mr. Black Man, have been neutralized. You have been conquered. You have been so imprisoned that you believe that the only answer is actually the biggest weapon used against us. Yahushua the Messiah is your only answer, and you reject him.
You say that the black woman would like to be a clone of the white woman.
Many of us, yes. That's unfortunate.
How do you see that?
Well, that's something that was almost accidental, I'd have to say. See, the white woman has been the only mentor that we have had of a female. We've seen her every day of our life on television, every magazine, every newspaper, every commercial. You know, it's just been her face, her body, her image, whatever it has been in front of us. And so today we have the results of that. We have black women who are trying to dye their hair blonde, who are wearing blue and green contacts in their eyes, you know, who wear tons and tons of layers of makeup, who have changed their voice, who have hair weaves so they can have flowing long hair blowing in the wind, you know, like Brooke Shields or somebody, you know. And so that's been an accident. And as a result of us doing that, we have also adopted the women's liberation movement goals of wanting to be liberated from the man and have some kind of pseudo-equality, when while that may be true of the white woman and her plight with the white man, that's not really the black woman's business, because we haven't been under the control of the black man for over 500 years. So what do we have to be liberated from him from?
You know, I've seen a video of yours where you said that feminism has conditioned black women to view black men as the enemy.
It has. Feminism was financed by the CIA. Gloria Steinem, I think she was.
Right, yeah.
Mother of modern feminism, because traditional feminism goes back to the 1800s, right? With Susan B. Anthony and those white supremacists. But Gloria Steinem was a CIA agent. They financed her. Her first feminist magazine they paid for. The CIA brought feminism into the white household to get the woman out the house, and into the black household to turn the black woman against the black man.
When a woman responds with gratitude, affection, and kindness, a good, mature man, he acts like a gentleman and he provides protection. He's happy and willing to provide that protection. But when we feel like we're entitled, we act disrespectful and rude, how in the hell do we expect men to respond? Also, when we as women operate in our masculinity, it exacerbates the situation. In a man's eyes, traditional femininity was being graceful, appreciative, grateful, nurturing, and healing, among many other attributes. But men today are having a hard time finding these qualities in modern women. We have been programmed to be loud, boisterous, demanding, entitled, and we're basically acting like men.
The ratchet culture keeps black women dumb and hypersexual. I mean, look at somebody like Sexy Red. Even ratchet women are like, yeah, she doing too much. I can't even vouch for her, because she's that over the top and embarrassing. But it's people like her and other artists like her that they're pushing down the throats of black women, because they want to keep black women dumb. They want to keep black women over-sexualized, and they want to keep black women distracted, and they don't want black women to reach their full potential of who they are in God. And so this is what they do. They push this type of stuff in the media. And I truly, truly believe, and I said this before, that there is spiritual warfare within the media against black women.
He delivered a powerful call to action, claiming that the black family is in crisis, impacting our wealth, stability, and culture. Let's take a look.
The existential crisis of the black family. Marriage in our culture is down to 34%. When we were growing up, it was 85%, is now down to 34%. 71% of our sisters are not married, 29% will never get married, 63% of our brothers are not married, 30% of them will never get married. This phenomenon of the existential crisis of our family only exists among African American black people.
The government assistance that the black woman receives as an independent has been strategic, and her receiving that has developed a mindset that to this day makes that woman comfortable that she has an option of independence.
Does having your degree have to be your whole identity?
That's the reason that we got here. Yeah. That's fine. So now that we're here, is that causing a problem now that we're here? The reason
if you don't listen because you have a financial option to be deaf, does it cause a problem?
Oh. Say it one more time.
No. If you don't listen, right? Because you have a financial option not to be submissive, is that a problem?
said it the first time.
If you don't listen because you have a financial option from the government not to allow that man.
Government that be losing me.
But
he's saying on both ends.
It led from the government to that. You got your own money.
You have to.
So
what I'm
fuck
saying
you.
is this is why I say how I say it, right? I'm giving you the context. Section 8 was a real thing. It was, if you want to take care of this kid, that black man can't be in your home. You're gonna get this check, but he can't be here.
Because if you had
But hold on.
they wouldn't give it to you.
But the government didn't require the white farmer wife to remove her husband, and she got subsidy from the government. So the white man was allowed to stay in the home when the white farmer wife got government assistance, but the black man had to leave the home when the black woman got assistance.
Put them all together.
Now, fast forward to today, okay? We deal with all types of discrimination as black men in terms of getting apartments, getting cars, getting loans, getting things in our name. It's way harder for a masculine, heterosexual black man to scale the corporate ladder than it is for a homosexual black man.
That's true.
But yeah.
To scale. And this is by design. So when we understand the strategy of the colonizer, the strategy of the oppressor, then we can defend against it, right? I'm not here to pass judgment on a black woman. However, I'm aware how she is utilized in this race war. I'm not here to pass judgment on a black man. I'm aware of his lack of awareness and his lack of receiving provision from God is why he's in that position. So I'm here to give the information to change the positions, and it's by choice whether you receive it or not.
So in Deuteronomy 28 verse 1, Yahuah said, Israel, keep the commandments and you will be above all nations on earth. Deuteronomy 28:15, if you don't keep them, all the curses will overtake you. Deuteronomy 28:16, cursed in the city, meaning ghettos. Cursed in the field, meaning slave fields. Deuteronomy 28:23, brass and iron, meaning prison and chains. Deuteronomy 28:29, only be oppressed and spoiled. Deuteronomy 28:30, another man will lay with your wife. You will build homes you will not live in. Deuteronomy 28:31, you will be given to your enemies. Deuteronomy 28:32, sons and daughters will be given to others, meaning you will not be able to save them. Deuteronomy 28:34, you will be mad, meaning slavery. Deuteronomy 28:36, you will be brought to another nation. Deuteronomy 28:38, you will work hard and gather little. Deuteronomy 28:41, children shall go into captivity. Deuteronomy 28:43, strangers will go up, you will go down. Deuteronomy 28:45, you will be destroyed. Deuteronomy 28:48, yoke of iron on thy neck, meaning slavery. Deuteronomy 28:49, evil nation will come against you, meaning America, this Babylonian system. Deuteronomy 28:54, you will hate your brother. If you didn't know, now you know. So you see our ancestors disobeyed Torah. They couldn't keep the Torah. They disobeyed Yahuah. The second reason why the curses are still over us is because we rejected Yahushua HaMashiach, who fulfilled Torah perfectly. Curses when you reject Yahushua HaMashiach. Curses when you reject Yahushua's sacrifice and what he did at Calvary on the upright state. When you reject and deny his crucifixion and the shedding of his blood, not only for his bloodline, but for his people and humanity, curses.